Today I talk about little old ladies, luck, and being a great right hooker. Hey everybody, this is GaryVee, Chuck, and you're watching the Ask GaryVee Show, episode 10. What are we gonna do with 11? I feel like I go right into the questions and I feel like I want to smooth into it. I mean, if you watched Wine Library TV over the 6-year period, a lot of you did, the upfront, kind of like the morning coffee, was a big part of it. And so I just want to say hello to everybody. I want to mention that I'm really enjoying the comments and reading a bunch of them in the YouTube section. I'm enjoying some of you who are already stepping up and engaging with each other in there. That is a double kudos to you. And in general, I'm just really happy that you've allowed me your attention to get all the way to episode 10. Fun fact on the number 10, Santonio Holmes, a New York Jets wide receiver, was number 10. One time I was yelling, Santonio, Santonio, he looked up, I quickly had to react. I did the 10, which also for a wide receiver is catch the ball. He did it back to me, I freaked out.
Marin asks, do you ever complain? And what's your attitude toward complaining in business and in life in general?
Marin, I appreciate this question. I'm curious how much you know me, or if you're asking that because the truth is, if you look at my historical tweets, 100,000 plus, maybe there's 2 complaints, maybe you can get to 3. One of the people I look up to most in the world, maybe the person I look up to most in the world, tied with my dad, I know Dad, you might watch this, is my mother. And hands down, and I mean hands down, the thing that I find most intriguing about my mom, and probably one of the things that I'm most happy that she's passed on to me, is her inability almost to complain. I find it extremely attractive. I would tell you that I adore my wife for that reason. As a matter of fact, Xander is whining too much and he's only 2 and I find it unattractive. I'm very against complaining. I'm very put your head down. I'm very, don't you realize you're healthy? Like, to me, the only thing you should complain about is the unfortunate unluck of health. Somebody dying that you love in a car accident or you becoming terminally ill. After that, it feels controllable. I really dislike complaining. I talk a lot about honey over vinegar. It's an analogy I use a lot here at VaynerMedia. I thrive on positivity, and so the way I deal with complaining is I try not to do it. I try to educate and empower people the lack of its value, I guess. I mean, I don't have a gear. There, when you go on my gear, like there is no oh, let me go into complain zone. To me, it's assess, figure it out, and go directly back on the offense. I'm a very offensive player. Complaining is the defense.
Robert asks, I've been doing a lot of jabbing, but I don't feel like I'm hitting much of anything. Any advice?
I have advice. I don't know if you heard, got a show, Ask GaryVee. Subscribe. Here's my advice. If you follow boxing or MMA, one would understand that some people are great technical boxers. They know how to jab, and when they land a perfect right hook on somebody's chin who wasn't even expecting it, they don't have the power to knock that person out. Robert, the truth is, my man, there might be just a situation where you're just not good at closing. And that's something I want not to pick on you, Robert, this is something I want everybody to hear. You just might not be a great salesman to actually make the close. In fact, you may need 2 people. This is something I haven't talked a lot about. This is why the Ask GaryVee show is a good show. It's forcing me to say new stuff. I haven't talked about, and probably blew it in the book, the reason I pointed there, you want to show them, D-Rock? They might be like, why did he point there? There's a huge, Jordan! I'm kidding. That was the best. You may need a partner, Robert. You might be the greatest jabber in the world, and you may need a partner right hooker, right? And so, I just happen to be both in one amazing body, but the fact of the matter is, you may need a partner where you do the jabbing, and she or he does the right hooking.
Chad asks, how do I get the cute old lady who keeps accidentally calling my house to stop?
Chad, one thing I pride myself in is actually really paying attention. I'm really good at paying attention to mannerisms. I feel for the room. I also listen to words. You said cute old lady, which means you actually like it. And so what I would tell you to do is flip the script. I would say go on the offense. So the next time she calls, why don't you try to engage in a 25-minute conversation with her and actually form a relationship? One that can go deep into your heart and maybe bring value to your overall soul.
Matthew asks, is it better to update your social networks once a week with great content or daily with poor content?
Matthew, why does it have to be one or the other? Why not both? I am so tired that people think that this is kind of like the thing that pisses me off the most. Oh, Gary, I see you hustle so much, but I don't work hard, I work smart. Well, hey, dick face, I work both. I work ridiculously hard and I work obnoxiously smart. And that is my answer to this question. Why not just put out a lot of content often that is quality? Why does one have to suffer or the other? That is a mistake mentality. That is a middle mindset. Go all in. You can do both. I do.
Simon asks, how much of success is confidence, skill, and luck?
Simon, the truth is, and some people don't like to hear this. Sometimes I say I'm lucky and people get really pissed. A bunch of you will put it in the comments right now. But the truth is, I am a lucky guy. Like, I was born in the Soviet Union. I could have been my dad who was born 20 years earlier in the Soviet Union and wouldn't have come to America until my 23rd, 24th, 25th birthday, which would have put me far behind the 8 ball for what I'm accomplishing. So the fact that I was born in the Soviet Union during the Cold War and happened to be born during a time where Israel and America teamed up to make a trade with Russia for wheat. I was traded for wheat that allowed me to get out through political asylum in the late 70s and come to America and live the American dream has a level of luck, right? And so luck is part of the equation. Now, do I think I'm lucky? I do not think I'm lucky because the confidence, which is great parenting, by the way, maybe a little luck in that, one could debate, and definitely just kind of the overall skills and the hustle, which is DNA. I don't know if you can be taught to work your face off. So I think it's just a mixture. I always talk about a great wine. Show Steve, he loves wine.
Love wine.
I always think a great wine is never 100% Cabernet, never 100% Merlot. A nice little Meritage, a blend. And I think to answer your question, I think it's a blend of all of the above. Some people, look, I think I make my luck. People are like, oh, you're so lucky that you got into Twitter and Facebook. I don't feel super, trying to figure out how I'm getting healthy? That dude. I love his raw, like, he doesn't care. He really is like the only person that doesn't care. That's what I told him to do. I think it's a blend of all of the above. And I think that is something that people need to recognize, feel comfortable with, bet on your strengths, and execute.
Nick asks, do you think that Facebook is still effective even though it's pay-to-play model and throttling?
Nick, I don't know if you've been paying attention to what I've been screaming about for the last 100 days, but it's called Facebook Dark Posts. Google it, watch it on YouTube. A bunch of people show you how to use it. Not only do I think it's effective, I actually think right this second, as I tape this show, Facebook is the best direct selling marketing platform in the world. Think about what I just said. Google AdWords, phenomenal. Buying retargeted banner exchange on the ads on the exchange, incredible. Facebook Dark Posts. Where did the organic reach come from in other places? You didn't build a website and were mad at Google if you weren't the first result for a term. You recognized that it treated you the way it treated you based on the quality of what you were executing. Really no different than Facebook. Plenty of people getting tons of organic. Sure, there's some twinkering of the tools, but that's their algorithm. No different than Google. You don't get organic free reach from an email marketing campaign that you spend money on buying the email list or on banner ads or on anything else you do in marketing. And so because it started as an organic only platform and people treated it like email and you thought everybody who was following you would see it, doesn't mean that the emotion that went away doesn't mean that it isn't great. As a matter of fact, Facebook has never been a better product. I just believe it. I mean, I don't know what else to really say. Thanks for watching episode 10 of the Ask GaryVee show. The question of the day, I've noticed the last couple of questions have gone really, the comment section has gone really to the question, and what I'm trying to do, we're very early here. Yes, I'm one of the greatest video bloggers of all time in a prior life. Just kidding, not really. But I need more feedback, so I ask you in today's question today, critique today's show. Give me some feedback. You keep asking questions, I'll keep trying to answer them. Oh yeah, subscribe! On this episode, I'm gonna talk about humor, billion-dollar ideas, a tough patch,